Okay, we're going to give this another go, gang. Hopefully, this is going to work. I don't know. Gonna try this once more. Hey, Thomas. First of all, let me know. Everybody can hear me okay? Can everybody hear me all right? Somebody. Live stream looking good for a change. That's good to hear. That's good to see. And I'm getting a 10-4. Hey, Bill, coast to coast, thanks for coming in. Everybody says they can hear me. Lloyd, all right, that's perfect. That's good news. Okay, everybody. Man, what a pain in the butt. Everything was running good for 30 minutes up until stream time. Lloyd and I were testing everything. I was bouncing different screens around. I was monitoring the stream help. The speed help. Speed was speed was everything. Thomas, click the settings button in the lower right corner of your YouTube screen, your YouTube window there, and see if you can get a better a better go at it. Uh, you should be able to adjust your bandwidth setting on your YouTube signal there. Hopefully. Refresh, guys. Refresh. Refresh your browsers. Maybe that'll work. Hey, Spike, good to see you coming in. Well, everybody, as you all know, I shouldn't lean back too far in this chair, I don't guess. Uh, right now, I'm in Port Huron, Michigan, in a motel. I'm going to be up here a couple days. I I got rid of the Flying Eagle Hilton, gang. It's gone. Been delivered to the new owners. The new owner is now in possession of the Flying Eagle Hilton. And my stress level is way down. Down, down, down. Way down in the basement. No more stress. Everybody's doing good. Uh, I'm going to show you a couple of pictures that I took this afternoon. Oh, I don't have them in there anymore. Let me see if I can add a couple of pictures. Images. This one. Okay. Add image. Let's see. I'll try this one. Okay, let's see what these are here. Yeah, there's one. I'm going to share a picture with you guys. Look at that, everybody. That right there is the new Flying Eagle. If you will. Cold and windy up here in Port Huron, I'll tell you that for sure. But, yeah. I'm sure she'll give the new owner Mike. His name's Mike Welch. I'm sure it'll give him a lot of service. Uh, yeah, it's a Duramax. There's another shot. I'm real happy with it. I tell you what, it is one heck of a bunch of pickup truck. And man, do I mean a bunch. It's Trying to find me another picture here. Let's try this one out. It's a 4-door dually, 3,500 1-ton, 4-wheel drive, Duramax diesel. Not bad for a Chevy. Hey Lloyd, wait till I back this Chevy up against the back of your little Ford. It'll outpush you in reverse, buddy. But anyway, that's what I did there. So I got my new pickup truck. Picked it up today. I got some things I need to get done, but spend some time around town. And thank you, Jim. And I'm going to meet up with some friends of mine, some drone people and stuff up here this week and the rest of this week, and see how things are going. Yeah, Matt, now that you're here, everything's going to work good. The whole show crashed, you know. I mean, nosedive crashed before you got here, so now you're just in time for the show. So maybe it'll hang together while we do this here. I'm gonna try one more thing. I'm gonna open up, where'd it go? I done lost it. I can't keep track of anything now. I'm all cluster messed up, you know what I mean? How do you feel without the Hilton? Mark, it was kind of bittersweet. I took a picture of it in the dark, sitting in the back of the parking lot where I dropped it off at that fella's place of work. But it's all good, man. I was ready for it. I've been driving for a living for over 35 years, and I was ready for it, and that's a fact. I got some good information that a lot of people don't seem to be getting on the Mavic 2 Enterprise. Yeah, Mark, I'll be by to see you after spin up, man. I'm going to come by over there. Believe it or not, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go home for a few days, and then I'm going to hit the road, and I'm going to sold my big truck, and I'm going on the road. You know what I mean? Video and sound are still good. Okay, that's good, Jim. Thank you. Mavic 2 Enterprise has the exact same battery that the Mavic 2 series drones has. It's identical. It has a battery warming feature. We all know that. But some of the information that some people seem to be missing that I wanted to share with everybody in case anybody's thinking about getting the M2E. Hello, David May. The spotlight, that big dual beam spotlight that mounts on top of the Enterprise, costs you 4 minutes minimum of flight time, and that's in a standard hover. All these flight times are based on a standard hover, y'all. So it's a little bit variable based on how much flying you're doing. But just in a standard hover, running that spotlight, 2200 lumens, will cost you minimum 4 minutes of flight time. The loudspeaker only costs you about a minute of flight time. I'm watching Spike chat and type in the chat, and it'll only cost you a minute of Spike time. But the spotlight will cost you minimum of 4 minutes, and the beacon, the strobe The safety strobe in a standard hover only costs 1 to 2 minutes on the average. And of course, during flight's going to determine how much that is. Is there anyone knows how much the DJI Sim coat? Rick, what are you talking about? DJI Sim cost. Oh, the simulator. The DJI simulator. You know what? I bet Lloyd can find that out really quick for us, but he's on a be right back right now. I don't know if he's back by his computer or not yet. There he is. Lloyd, can you find out how quick can you find out how much the new DJI flight simulator costs? You know, guys, every one of your drones, I think, if you hook it up, I think if you hook your controller to your computer, I don't remember now. I've done it once with my Inspire. I hooked it to the computer and I ran the simulator on the Inspire. Watching the simulation on the screen, which I thought was really cool. I haven't used the new DJI flight sim yet, so you just have to wait and see. The new flight sim is only $55. Is that right? Wow. Lloyd, post a link. Post a link into that where you found it for $55. That's probably on DJI's website. Man, I tell you what, guys, Lloyd's the quickest at finding things out. We'll be on the phone talking about something. Yeah, there you go, Mark. Post a link. And he'll find what we're talking about and start talking about it, telling me about it. And it's like, how the heck did you find that so quick? Why am I not looking at the camera? Because the camera ain't looking at me. I'm glad you said Masters of Information, Mark, because Jim Crinnan, welcome, brother. I'm glad to see you make it to the stream. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, you're right, Matt. He is the master retired old guys interweb whatever blah blah ha ha. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely spot on. Hello, Floyd. Thanks for coming in, buddy. I appreciate you. Jim, do you want to talk about anything for a minute? Tell everybody here how you're doing? Free trial version available. Oh, a free trial version available on the flight sim? Yeah, they probably do have a free trial. It wouldn't surprise me a bit. Lloyd, post a link. Lloyd, you want to try dialing back in? And if it starts lagging the stream real bad, then we'll just kick you out. There you go. Good deal, Mark. Thank you. I didn't see it before. If somebody else posted it. Mega, if you posted it, I didn't see it. Sorry. Chat's going by kind of quick. Anyway, Matt, Mavic 2 Enterprise, $2,000. You get all 3 attachments with it, and it's a great little drone. It's got the exact same milliamp battery that the standard Mavic 2 has. Yeah, Jim Crennan. That's it was you I was talking to. Wes is in the hospital. I hope he's doing all right. Okay, you guys, we're gonna try this. If I can find the thing to put up here, I'm gonna do this, and
here we are.
I can turn his microphone on.
Yeah,
Let's see.
that would be nice.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. It's holding up. Well, let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see how long it holds up.
Yeah. Hey guys. Yeah, I went to DJI Flight Simulator. Where's it at? It's on the DJI website. I'm trying to find the. Let's see. There's actually. Let me just put the. Put this up. On. Let me copy that. Let me put this in the live stream. And paste that and click send, and we're good to go. So, oh, that's a frightening sight. You guys are seeing me. But yeah, anyways, it looks, I found one place that showed it was $55, but I'm not sure that that's necessary because it says that was on said drone DJ, but that might not be because this will work with the Enterprise, the Spark, the Mavic, the Phantom, the Inspire, and the Matisse. And you get a free trial edition. I don't know how long it is, but it's free for download. And there's, let's see, frequently asked questions. How do I get the free trial version? Click download and activate free trial. And then you, let's see, software. So I'm still looking at stuff. But anyways, that's the link. They can go read that. Are we still doing good?
Yeah, it's looking
okay.
live. It's great.
All right. I thought you were kind of still there for a minute. I thought, oh crap, he either died or we froze again.
No, we're not froze yet.
Remember, we got to do that bob thing.
Yeah, do the bob and weave. Yeah, no, we're still holding out so far.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah, Jim Crennan, our thoughts are with you, buddy. Everybody,
yes.
Everybody, just keep Jim Crennan in your prayers for me, please. He's a friend of mine. I met with him out in Tucson, Arizona. He's a really good guy, and he's got a plate full right now. So,
yes, he does. Yes, he does.
So let's just keep him in our thoughts and prayers, please. Him and his family.
And
show
Jim,
requirements, rocking chairs. Matt, I can pick Lloyd up and come visit you, the two of us.
Exactly. It might take both of us, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, who else can I get on the way? I can swing through Louisiana, pick up old Mark Rogers.
Yeah. Mark could come along and help out, you know.
Yep. And then Mark and me, and let's see, I got 4 doors and 4 seats, so I got one more. Chris Hope. Yeah, okay.
Chris Hope. That's right.
Here's what we'll do. I'll drop south out of the house. I'll grab Mark Rogers. Then I'll swing over to Texas, pick up Chris Hope. then I'll come and get you because I know
Right?
you're older than all of us, so it'll take you longer to get ready. And then all four of us will go meet up with Matt. Uh huh.
Yeah. And me being the senior one, I'll appoint who's going in first. I'll stand back and make sure it's done right.
Oh, who elected you the general?
I'm old. I got seniority. Age has its privileges, don't you know?
Yeah, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
tell you where to go, Jim? Yeah, Oklahoma, buddy. Uh, south of Oklahoma City. Not
Yep,
far
yep.
south either. But uh, yeah, let's just keep Jim Crennan in our prayers and thoughts, gang, because he's got a plateful right now. Um,
And Jim, I'm in it when I said anytime you need to call, just call me, okay? Uh, Day or night. I don't know if I even sleep. Maybe don't call before say 10 o'clock in the morning because I usually sleep between 6 and 10.
yeah, don't call before 6 a.m. and don't call after 10 or
Don't call after 6 or before 10
yeah, after
in the
6 and
morning.
before 10. Any other time you can call him and he'll probably answer the phone.
Yeah, yeah.
Or well, no, from about 3 to 6 p.m. you're probably out running Dollar General and what's that stinky fish place you go to?
Yeah,
Long
Long John
John's?
Silver's.
Yeah, the
Hey, but
underwear place.
yeah,
Long John's.
I've got Bluetooth in my truck, so you can call me then too.
uh, does anybody have any questions about the Mavic 2 Enterprise? Anybody thinking about buying one? I'm actually thinking about buying one, Lloyd.
Are you? I was
Yep,
wondering about that because I was listening.
yep.
I mean, because I can see where in your case instances it would really, especially with what you're, because I know you're not ready to talk about that, but I know in some of your future endeavors it might be worth having. Uh,
Well, it's just, I'm drawing all these pictures on paper, and
right
when I use, as long as I keep using different colored crayons, it looks good on paper. So,
there you go. There you
yeah.
go. Yeah,
Anything
but
accessories will
that's
affect the handling of the drone itself. Um, well, the strobe is not going to have any effect on it. That's just too low profile.
right.
The
But you're going to get
speaker, I
drag off the
think.
speakers and the lights both. You're going to get it's just
Yeah, but
you're going to get some drag.
I think the drag on the speaker is going to be greater because it's a larger surface area.
Yeah. Now I was away and I had my headsets off for a minute while you were trying to get things sorted out and stuff. But did you tell them about how many lumens that light has on it?
2200 lumens. Yep. And
Yeah.
I talked about maybe they didn't hear me. I'm fixing to go over all of it again, but
Okay.
um, the the weight is very minimal. The amount of weight that each one of those accessories carries on it. Uh, so 2200 lumens is that's a decent amount of light. Uh, that's an extremely decent amount of light being spread out, and
Well,
it
it's like
does.
the example I gave you. I have back door lights that LED lights that look out my back door and they'll cover my whole backyard. My lot's it's good 100 foot wide. Uh, it's 100 foot wide and it's at least shooting out probably 75 foot deep from my back porch. And that's an 800 watt and is covering every bit of that. So can you imagine the 2200?
Right, exactly. It's yeah. I can fly the M2E over Lloyd's house and talk to him.
Yeah, just what I need. Somebody on the loudspeaker.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll fly it right down by the back bedroom window where Miss Judy's at, and I'll just go. Hey, Lloyd.
You seem to have forgot that she keeps it. Well, you know those
You know
stories
what?
about how
I don't care where she keeps her shotgun. I'm not going to get that close. Okay?
she does have a high-powered rifle too, with laser scopes on it. So, there's always that. And she's a
Yeah.
better shot than I am. Even with Parkinson's, she's a better shot than I am.
Yes, Jim, the speaker is capable. You play recorded audio that you pre-record, and it has, I think, 15 or 20 presets that you can record to it, and then play those presets once you send the drone out to where it needs to go. For example, you find someone lost on the side of the riverbank and they're hanging on because their canoe capsized or whatever the case. You'd be able to talk to them from a sizable distance away, probably 30 to 50 feet away. They'd be able to hear what you're saying. So
Yeah,
put
because
straight
that was a
stacks on it on the pickup? No, not going to put straight stacks on the. To me, you guys, okay, big old 6 or 8 inch chrome stacks on the side of a big truck, a KW or a Peterbilt or something. That's where they belong. These guys that put 8 inch straight pipes out of the back of their pickup bed on a pickup truck, I think that's just teenage redneck. That's, yeah, it's not going to
trucker
happen.
wannabes.
It's just not going to happen.
Oops, sorry.
You're supposed to turn that volume down when you're live streaming,
Yeah,
Lloyd.
I know. I know. Hello.
So anyway, I'll mute Lloyd's mic there so we don't have to listen to him. Um, yeah, latest on the Bebop at Drone World. Uh, Mark, he counts on that because when he is sleeping, it's like the dead. Um, Jim, I haven't seen the new Xeno, so I don't know a lot about that. But back to what I was talking about before the stream crashed, the spotlight turned on. Between turning it on and off costs you a 4-minute flight time. The having it turned on drops your 31 minutes of flight time down to approximately 22 minutes. So the running the spotlight and doing the flight is going to cost you between 9 and probably 13 or 14 of your flight time minutes of 31 approximately. So out in the real world, the the flight time is going to change with that spotlight on. It's going to drop your flight from 31 minutes to down to possibly as low as 15 minutes or so on your flight time, depending on the drag, how far you're flying, what your wind conditions are, and burning the light itself. So it's gonna eat that battery up pretty quick. So you're back on, Lloyd.
Oh, good, good. I didn't. Sorry about that, guys. It's just those bagpipes get a little loud when they play.
I agree,
Uh,
Chris. I think that takes a lot away from from the time burning that light. It's gonna make a lot of difference. And I knew that the light would draw a lot on the battery because it's, like we said, it's a 22 lumen dual spotlight, so it's pretty bright. Uh, Carrying the speaker around, they're estimating that um, the speaker, just carrying it around to bring your flight time. Well, these times I've got noted here that Lloyd found for me. It says with the speaker off, it's 26 minutes. So just carrying the speaker in a hover cost 5 minutes of flight time off the 31 down to 26. With the speaker on, it costs an extra minute. So the using the speaker to communicate doesn't use that much battery voltage. Um, the
It's
strobe
just the
beacon,
drag.
it's just the drag. Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
these times are based on a flat hover. So
Yeah.
that's not taking drag into account yet. That's just a flat hover.
Right. Right. That's right. That's right.
So carrying the extra weight of the speaker in a flat hover costs you 5 minutes of flight time. Um, the well, you could, Rick, but they don't have mounts for the Mavic 2 for the Loom Cubes. I don't think. I don't think anybody's made them yet. That might be a good project for my 3D printer, but uh, or Lloyd's 3D printer maybe. He has more time than I do.
Yeah. There's one problem. I don't have a 3D printer.
Well, you're gonna have to solve that problem. Uh,
Well, I got my eye on a laser printer first. Okay.
a laser doesn't make anything; it just engraves wood.
So
Well,
I might want to engrave some wood.
I, you're from Oklahoma, right? I know
Yeah.
you how to take. I know you know how to take a pocket knife and engrave wood. So what are you going to spend a bunch of money on a laser engraver for? What are you going? That just doesn't make any sense. Damn Oklahoma hillbilly redneck, some bitches.
Yeah.
Um,
You got to remember, I'm not an original Okie. I was not born and raised in this part of the world. I was born and raised in Colorado. Well, I was born in New Mexico, but I was raised in Colorado. So
I'm sorry.
yeah, before they became liberal.
Yeah, I said I was
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah,
Um,
I am too. They weren't like that when I was growing up. They were conservative. Now they're, yeah. No offense to my liberal friends out there.
you're only saying that to try to keep nice. Um, I saw somebody asking. I don't remember who it was. Does anybody get the actual flight time that DJI says out of their drones? And yes, I did. I took my Mavic 2 Zoom and I hovered it in a non-wind area and I got 31 minutes. Brian, Smoky Mountain Aerial Imaging, welcome to the stream, brother. I appreciate you coming in.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely.
yeah, I need to. I should probably talk with you. There's some things that we could maybe talk about, Mr. Brian. Feel free to drop me an email on my website. Uh, you can get my email off of there. I'll post my email in the chat. Let's see, how do I type in this chat? Um, kind of like this, I think, is how it works. 400agl.net@gmail.com. Uh, oh, anyway, the question was about the flight time on the Mavic 2, and yes, uh, I did get the exact 30. Actually, I got about 32 and a half minutes out of a fully charged battery um, on the Mavic 2 Zoom. So you'd like to see him on my shoe, Rick? Yeah, show, I hope. Lloyd, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
here. I
okay.
was laughing at Spike because he just said he likes my Kermit headsets.
Yeah, I saw you laughing, but I didn't hear anything, so I thought maybe,
No,
yeah.
I was trying to laugh quietly, so
Oh, is
yeah, I
that what it
saw
was?
what.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
okay.
was.
Um, but So yeah, the flight time on the Mavic 2, uninhibited by anything, is really really good, guys. You do get the full 30 minutes. There's no question about that. But when you add the weight of the speaker, you're going to lose 5 minutes just by carrying the weight in a steady hover, like I said. Then if you start flying around, you get the wind drag and all all that, you're going to lose a lot more. So depending on how hard you're flying, what kind of conditions you're flying in, uh, the altitude you're flying at. If you're up in the mountains, the air's thinner. The motors have to work more to catch air. Um, you could lose quite a bit of flight time. Who else has got some more questions? Yeah, Rick, I'd be more than welcome to have Brian come on the show anytime he wants. We'll
Oh,
get
yeah.
we'll get some we'll get some information swapped out and pre-recorded message. Please exit your houses safely and move to a holding area. Yeah, Mark, they I think there's some if I remember right, now don't get me lying to y'all, but I think there's some pre-recorded messages on there, or they may be just pre-recorded that you record, and then that way you can choose which audio file you want to play at a particular time, depending on the need. Um, and I think you can record them live as you're working, and then play them so that you can give it a new message to the person. And
Yes. I kind of drifted off there for a second because I was having this thought go through my head of all these pre-recorded messages that I would probably use, and it would probably get me in trouble on your channel, so I just won't say it.
why? I mean, I can imagine what your pre-recorded messages were.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
know, get off
let's
get
see.
off the wall.
Hey, stupid,
Don't
put
go
your
off the
shopping
wall.
cart in the cart buggy rack thingy.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Yeah.
hey,
Get rid of the
stupid,
man bun.
pull your pants up.
Yeah.
Hey,
You
stupid,
know,
get rid of the man bun.
that's the kind of stuff I would have on my
Hey, stupid,
pre-recorded.
the bill on the ball cap goes in the front. Yeah, I can imagine what your messages would be.
Yeah, exactly.
And they'd
Yeah.
all start out with, hey, stupid, or hey, you, or,
Yeah.
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 Uh, do my best to ask the universe right out of you. Ooh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spike, no doubt. We're all with you on that too.
Yeah. Because yeah, we've all had it. We've all had it touch us. So it's so Jim, just know like Mel said, and all of us have said here. You know, we're all behind you. And Spike, I agree with you 100%.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know. Uh, but
Hey,
yeah, I'd get into a lot of problems if I had one of those with the speaker.
Matt's
You
got the
know, I'd be doing.
Matt's got the perfect first recording for you.
What's that?
A fart.
Yeah. 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 Or I could have it flying around just saying "old fart in the hood."
There you go. And just have it go old in the hood.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And they'd know to drop their put their hats on right to let their hair down out of their man buns and to put the damn shopping carts up where they belong.
Yep. There you go. Fly over Walmart.
Yeah.
Rick at Starcop. Yeah, I got a pretty good grip on Lloyd's thought processes.
We have a lot of long talks. Sometimes we don't know where they're headed.
For the new people that have come into the show in the last few minutes, Brian, if you're still here, Rick, that's okay, buddy. It's all right that you church ran over. Not a problem. I'm going to show you. Here's a picture of my new pride and joy right there. Man, it was cold and windy up here today. Whew, I want to tell you what, it was cold and windy. But there's a picture of my new Silverado. There you go, just for you, Rick. I'm putting that picture up there just for you down there in Alabama. but uh, it's it's a nice truck. Absolutely a nice truck. I'm
It is a
excited
sweet
about
looking
it.
truck.
Yeah, the Flying Eagle shrunk. Yep. Yeah, Brian, if you're not aware, I got off the road with the big truck, so I'm not on the road in the big truck anymore. I sold it. I actually delivered it to its new owner on Monday evening, and now I'm up in Port Huron, Michigan. I got here this morning. Actually, I got here last night. Uh,
Oh, did you end up driving all the way up there?
in the rental car, yeah. Well, I made it. I got out of there Monday night, and I made it up to Breezewood, Pennsylvania, and then I went from Breezewood to Port Huron yesterday.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Um. Hey, Lloyd, reach over there and chat and block that Ford message, would you? No.
Did somebody write something about a Ford again
Yeah, somebody wrote
and hurt
something about Ford.
hurt your poor tender little feelings? Because
Yeah,
all you could afford was
it
because
sure
all you could
did.
afford was a Chevy.
Yeah. You know,
You're going to mute my mic, aren't you?
West Tennessee, Brian, West Tennessee, about 50 miles east of Jackson, Tennessee. That's where home base is at. Uh, you never know. In a few days, I might be over in uh, where the hell? Somewhere in South Carolina. Yeah, Anderson, South Carolina. I might be in Anderson, South Carolina in a few days. You just never know where I'm gonna end up. But I do need to go on home for a while and stuff. Uh, oh, from Athens, Tennessee. Gotcha. Okay. No, they don't get new Peterbilts. Nope. Nope. No new Peterbilt. Nope.
I just like to have my old one built. I
Lloyd, you're thinking out loud again.
I'm sorry. Whoa. Sorry about that. I forgot my mic was on.
Don't make me turn you off now. Uh,
Oh, that was bad.
that was just wrong.
In so many ways. Oh. Uh,
You know, something that I do need to do though. Uh,
just mute my mic.
well, I'm not sure if this is the right thing. No, that wasn't it. Uh, I don't know what the heck I'm doing here. I'm messing up. I'm messing around with things and doing
Yeah,
things I
don't.
probably shouldn't.
Yeah, it's working.
Doing things I probably shouldn't be doing. Okay, that ain't the right thing there. That. Oh my goodness gracious.
You're lucky you missed it, Jim. Because I'm not going to repeat it either. Oh, that was bad.
What I miss?
He said he asked was I nasty because he missed it due to his wife's interruption. You were lucky. Oh, I can't believe I said that out loud.
What am I missing out on here? Because I'm trying to do something else. You know, don't be picking on me, y'all. That ain't right.
They're still talking about my little thought process there that I had, talking about certain types of semi trucks.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Matt set it up, and then I just kind of did the follow through on it. But I just
okay. Am I lagging now? Really?
Yeah. No.
Am I lagging, or was I just sitting still for you, Jody? Yeah. I don't think I'm lagging. But let's try this out. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, if we're going to break it, let's break it good.
Let's break it good.
Yeah.
We're in drone space.
Yeah. This is drone space.
That's right.
This isn't that. It's not that other thing. It's
We're
called
out in
drone
drone
space.
space.
Yes.
It's drone space, Matt. Drone space. Lagging behind the chat, really? That's interesting. I don't know. Oh, yeah, chat and the stream never are side by side.
No, they never coincide with each other.
Yeah. The the chat is always what, about 45 to 90 seconds behind the.
Oh, yeah, every bit of that.
Yeah. That's just the way it runs through YouTube. But okay, I was talking about something else and some other questions before Lloyd started talking about semi trucks.
I still can't believe I said that out loud.
Yeah, Jim Hightower, he was being nasty. That's exactly what he was doing.
and and Jim Crinan, thank you so much. That's very nice of you to say that too.
I agree. Thank you, Jim.
Yeah.
What drone are you going to use? Brian, I can use several. I'm thinking about buying another one. Uh, I'm tossing up between the M2E and something considerably larger, a dual camera. I recently acquired a X5 for about 50 cents on the dollar of brand new, and it's blown 5 times, so may as well call it new. But that's part of what I wanted to get with you about and talk about. And by the way, have you had any trouble with your batteries? I know that there's some Inspire 2 and Matrice battery issues going on right now. You've not had any trouble? Is it just the newer batteries, or are the old batteries not affected by the problems? Do you know? But
Yeah, because I've been hearing about it, but I haven't seen anybody saying what particular. Just that it was first release batteries. Okay, that's what he just said.
yeah, but the
Okay.
batteries have been out a long time. So it's the older batteries that are having the problems and not the newer ones? Is that what you're saying? I'm trying to keep up with you. The older ones. Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know.
Here's an evil thought. Me being the cynical
Wait a
guy
minute,
that I
anything
am.
sold the last couple years. So if I was to buy something now, would I get. Yeah, but with
He
batteries,
said,
how do you know when they're manufactured?
should be a manufacture date on them somewhere.
Yeah, Chris, that's true. Chris Hope, that's true. It does bust your pride bubble a little bit, even though it's not your fault. Anything manufactured this year, you should be good. They have a date code on them. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking they did
Uh,
somewhere.
you know what?
That's,
Let's do this real quick. Um, I'm gonna. We've been going pretty good, having pretty good luck. What do you say we try to break it, Lloyd?
oh, why not? It's not
Yeah.
like you. It's not like we haven't broke it before.
That's true. That's very true. Uh, I'm going to try this. Control C and say OK. All right, we'll put that down there. Let's go. Oh my God, this is going to break it. I just know it is. Lloyd, let me
Oh
know if
yeah.
you see something bad.
Okay. Uh,
Nothing bad yet?
Not yet. Nope.
Okay.
So
As
far,
long as
so
it's
good.
nothing bad yet, we're good.
Yeah.
Uh,
Stream's looking good.
Still holding strong?
Calls looking. Yeah. Still. So far, it's looking pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. Drone shots. I think you should be able to scan the code on the batteries because they've got a scan code in them.
Okay. Man, I can't believe we're still doing good. I still got a green light. Um,
Excellent. Excellent.
Mr. Bryan, check your email, please, sir. We'll see what shakes loose here. And in the meantime, I'm going to set up a new. Let's see, how am I going to do this? I know what I'll do. I'll just do. Hmm. Cancel that. I need to do a blank. There we go. Then I need to go here. But I need to do it like this, I think, and then go here. Okay. And let's see if Mr. Bryan got his email yet. It don't look like it.
Okay.
Yeah, Spike, it's going to be a couple weeks, buddy. It's going to be a couple weeks. Um, but I'm definitely going to have you on. I got to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for, and I think I got it. And, uh-oh. Let me see here. How to move this out of the way. Come on, move that out of the way. All right. And, oh, well, how come I can't find it? All right, let me just do this and do this.
Funny
Okay.
thing is, guys, is I know everything he's talking about, even though he's mumbling to himself because I'm using the
And we'll
same
go
setup.
there.
He's just his a little bit fancier than mine, but
And we'll go there. And then we'll go there. And then we'll go like this. Bryan,
all right.
are you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, good. We got audio on you too. Awesome.
I
Okay.
might still have you on the channel also. So
Yeah, you might have to mute the channel, but
I
how
mean,
you
if you can
doing,
hear me
man?
and there's no back, I'm good actually. I'm actually at the car wash washing my truck from that road trip I just come off of.
Oh, okay. Okay. Uh yeah, because I'm looking at being able to fly two cameras at once,
Yeah,
and I got an X5, but you have to go bigger than the Inspire to do that, right? That's true, right?
yeah. Well, your X5 is not going to work on anything other than the Inspire. So, um, if you have an X5S, then it'll work on Inspire 2. It'll work on an M210 or an M200 is a single. So just remember the difference between a 200 and a 210 is a single camera and a dual camera setup.
So the
And
the 210 is a dual camera.
Yeah, the 210 is a dual camera, and you can do two cameras on the bottom, or you can do one camera on the bottom and one camera on top. It only allows you to run, if you're going to run a top gimbal, like the one where they show looking like up, like inspecting bridges and stuff like that. You basically what you're doing is you're just subbing off of your gimbal number 2 and relocating it.
Oh, okay, okay.
So you can put both, like on mine, I have both of them on the bottom,
So we
and
need
you
the
can go to,
like X30 and the XT, or an X5S and the XT.
yeah, an X5S and the XT is your best bet if you want to do inspection work. Now keep in mind there's the XT2 is out, and one thing about the XT2 is it only works in conjunction with a Z30. So
Oh,
you can use your XT2 for your thermal image, and you can get 16 megapixel stills out of it. Your Z30 doesn't get but 12 megapixel stills. So you're still not going to achieve your 20 megapixel stills if you run that package. And that's mainly for like law enforcement. Like I know like Rocky Mountain Aerial UAV, they sell them. And then, there's another company called Drone Works. They're up in New York. I've yet to talk to them, but they sell that package. And it just depends on what you're looking to do.
yeah,
If you want to do inspections, you gotta have 20 megapixel, and that an X5, just the standard X5 is going to go on an Inspire 1, but it will not work on an Inspire 2 or an M210.
Oh, I thought the X5 would work on an Inspire 2.
To my knowledge, it will not. And
Oh,
the adapter that you have to have is completely it's completely different. Like for instance, the XTs will go directly onto an Inspire 1,
right.
but they will not work on an Inspire 2. And in order to put it on an M210, I don't have it with me, but there's this little small ring adapter that actually locks down onto the XT camera, and then it goes up inside of the M210. And DJI has that. It's a software lock. They've all got it locked up to where you've got to buy something from them in order to be able to use their products.
Yeah, yeah. Why doesn't that surprise me?
Yeah, it doesn't, because I actually had an Inspire 1 Pro. It was a black version, and I had like $5,000 in that thing. And my XT was working perfectly fine on that drone, but that's all I had was just thermal. I didn't have FPV. I didn't have an RGB camera, so you can't run
Right.
a dual setup. An XT2 will not work on an Inspire 1 so that you can run the RGB or the thermal. So basically, they just pretty much set themselves up to where you have to have a different drone for each camera,
Yeah, okay. Well, there were some of
which is
those
what I like about
questions that I've been wanting to ask you, but it's hard to
yeah.
hard to catch up with you.
Well, I stay on the road a lot. I'm like I said last night. I'm out here 2-3 weeks at a time, and then when I do get to come home, like I met up with Ken yesterday, and we're gonna go do some flying this weekend, and just kind of hanging out. And I'm in Florida right now, but I'm always on 95 all the time, going up and down Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. 77, 26, Columbia, Charlotte,
Yeah,
everywhere pretty much. Tennessee.
yeah. Well, I like I said, I've made a bunch of changes. I just sold my big truck. I delivered it on Monday. I bought a pickup truck uh, with this job kind of in mind. Um, I don't know if you saw the picture of it, but I can share the. I did a. Well, that ain't the right one. There we go. I did a selfie with it out in the wind and the cold today, but I got a big Silverado Duramax diesel dually 4x4 Whammer Jammer pickup truck. and I'm gonna get a utility trailer, I think, to put behind it to carry all my equipment and stuff in, keep it out of the weather and keep it safe. But I got a lot of things on my mind, a lot of plans, but I don't want to do things ass backwards, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah, I understand that. When we get off of here tonight, you know just send me an email with your phone number in it, and I'll give you a call, and we'll talk on the phone. You know, where we don't have 500 people in our middle of our conversation, and we can talk about some business, some private stuff.
Yeah,
Things
yeah.
that you don't want to let everybody know what you're doing. But as far as like what I watched your video, I've seen where you talk about you're going to get into the drone business full time, come off the road. Um, but realistically, you're going to be back on the road in that new Chevrolet. It's a
Well,
lot of
yeah,
traffic.
and that's part of the reason I bought what I bought is because of that. But anyway, yeah, we can talk about all that later. But I did want to ask you a couple
Cool.
questions about the cameras and things.
Sure. I mean, go ahead, shoot. If you got any specific questions, I don't know what kind of drones that you have right now. I think I heard you had like an Inspire 1 and a Mavic 2 Pro or a Mavic 2 Zoom.
Yeah, I've got the Zoom, I've got two Inspire 1 version 2s, and then I've got the Air and all that stuff too. But Big Birds, I've just got two Inspire 1 version 2s.
Okay, those are pretty awesome. I like those. And with your X5, you can use your X5 with your Inspire 1 to do a lot of work that you're looking to get into,
Right.
originally. Because I actually wished I had something else other than the M210, because that's a lot of money to put in the air to do a real estate job. Like if someone pays you 152 $300 to do a area just stills and maybe like a 30-second video. I hate to put $30,000-$40,000 in the air with a camera on it to do that. I would rather have like an Inspire 1 or an Inspire 2 or something a little bit cheaper to do
Yep.
that shot with, or even like a Mavic 2 Pro.
Well, I've got the Phantom 4 Pro too, so um
Oh, okay. Well, then
and
you're in good shape.
recently I've got a real estate guy actually that approached me and asked me if I'd be interested in doing some work for him. So I figure between the Inspire 1 and the X5 and the Phantom 4 Pro with that 20 megapixel camera, I should be able to give him what he wants.
Yeah. And I've heard good words about you. I heard you were a really good pilot, so I'm sure you'll be able to achieve, the shots that you need with all that you should be able to get right in there and do that.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm gentle on the sticks. I know how to put it where I want it. So
Right.
flying right and
I,
flying safe's half the battle as far as I'm concerned. But
Yeah,
let's
that's for sure.
well,
we'll talk
I
about all that on the phone. But
I was going to ask one question.
I was
I was
just
going
gonna
to ask
say,
one
has anybody got
question.
any questions for Brian while he's here?
Okay, so obviously you do the high power line stuff and you need the big birds for that, okay, because of the type of work you're doing. But let's say somebody like myself and Mel and somebody that we're just going to be doing real estate stuff local or stuff interstate, you know, what would you recommend for starting out if you have if in other words, what would be your go-to setup for that type?
Well, if I'm going to do anything other than power line work, the Mavic 2 Pro, the new one with the 20 megapixel sensor, is incredible. I've actually flown it a lot. I don't have one, but I've flown it a lot. Inspire 1 with an X5, that's an incredible camera. I mean, you can pretty much make a cinema film with that thing. I actually did some work for Raleigh Studios down in Georgia. The people that filmed The Walking Dead. I done that about a year ago with an X5 on an Inspire 1 version 2. So, the Phantom 4 Pro, Phantom 4 line, the Advanced and the Pro, those are really good drones. You can get into them for reasonably prices, and they're really good for getting like real estate shots and things like that. But your faster shots that you're going to need to get when someone wants like dolly zooms and they want panos and different things like that, which a lot of realtors are going to now. You're going to want a faster drone, and if you put your Phantom 4 in sport mode, you can get it. You can get the shot they're looking for, but you can really make amazing shots with that Mavic 2 Pro. That's why I want to get one, put my hands on one, like own one. Actually, I just don't have time to go purchase one right now. But and I'm full with crap. I have batteries and cases and chargers and generators and drone cases, and I basically need a trailer myself. But Phantom 4, Inspire 1, Mavic 2 Pro, those are all really good drones to get into what you guys are talking about. A dual camera setup like I have, if you're not doing solar panel farms and you're not doing power lines, it's really it's a wasted expense, because the risk versus the reward is not there for that type of machine unless you're charging $5,000 a day to inspect a solar farm, or you're making $2,000 a day doing power lines or cell phone towers out west. It just doesn't make sense, like economically it doesn't make sense.
That's because I've seen you on. Well, this is probably the third time I've seen you on a show in the last month. I think you've become real popular on these shows, and I'm just usually in the chat typing away, making snide remarks to other people.
Right.
So I don't get the chance to ask a question because, listen, I'm an old fart that sits around. I'm a vlogger. I'm not even a drone. I own some drones. Okay. I own a Spark and a Mavic Air, and I'm proud of those. But that's not what I do. I'm retired, so I don't have to do this. But I have a lot of friends out here in YouTube world that, like Mel and several of the others that are in this audience tonight, that are droners, and some of them, and they're Part 107. I'm not even Part 107. I don't even know if I'll ever get one, because I ride around in my truck and belly ache about Long John Silver. So that's what my thing is. Yeah, that's it. I'm an old fart with an attitude, but I'm not a noob when it comes to stuff. I've been into computer work since I started working on computers back in the 1970s. I learned to program in Cobalt and Fortran, so it's not like I'm a neophyte when it comes to this stuff. It's just I see so many guys, because they know I talk to Mel all the time, and I'm in so many of these chat rooms, and you get to come in, and of course, a lot of the guys, and I'm not like that, they get starstruck because you're the big guy in the neighborhood. Me, I'm just an old fart that you're like everybody else, and I wanted to ask you the point blank question. If I was just going out starting out, or if you were to start over, how would you start? How would you outfit yourself, and how would you start over? What would you do different?
Well, there's three key things to starting over or getting started. And first thing is a computer with really good editing software, Premiere Pro or Power Director, something strong. Marketing and branding is a big thing, which I don't do a lot of marketing and branding. I wish I had time for it. That's what Ken and I kind of battle back and forth on, because, he's like, dude, you should have 10,000 subscribers and you should be putting content on your YouTube channel. And, I'm like, well, yeah, I get that, but I spend so much time working, I'm working 612s and I don't really have time to do that. But starting over, getting into it, advertising yourself. Droners.io is through Precision Hawk is the #1 place to go to get your foot in the door with aerial shots, photography. Get a Mavic 2 Pro or get a Phantom 4 Pro, an Inspire 1 with an X5 camera, and get you a good insurance policy. I pay $2,000 a year for an insurance policy that covers $1 million. It covers my drone if I have a crash. It replaces my drone completely. There's no deductible on it, so that's a really good thing to have. And then just I get daily emails right now. I mean, I got 27 today that come from Droners.io, from Precision Hawk, and it's people all over the country. I mean, I get stuff from California, Texas, Florida, Georgia, New York, everywhere, and it says, I'm willing to pay $500 for you to come up here and take 30 seconds of my farm. I've got a big horse farm, and maybe give me 40 stills in 20 megapixel, and I'll just throw you $500. And so if I didn't do what I'm doing now, I could chase that. I would stay on the road and burn a lot of diesel fuel, but I could chase that and build your brand, build your name, inspect a lot of properties. You know, anytime that someone has a storm, you know, like whenever the hurricane came through, there was about maybe 50, 60 people that lived out of town. A lot of people lived in Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, and they said, hey, I got property down there. I just want somebody to go to this address and then just take, you know, 10 aerial pictures at a 45-degree angle from 100 foot up in the air and email them to me, and I'll give you 175 bucks. Well, if I was in Panama City or if I was in Mexico Beach, I could have worked all day long and probably made $5,000 in one day.
Right.
So, you know, just doing that all day long. So that's what I would do. And then once you get, you know, on another level, you can start, you know, bidding on work like I do. I bid the power companies. They put stuff up a bid every January, and I send them in a bid and tell them, hey, I'll do your power line work for X amount of dollars per mile. And, you know, there's a lot of companies out there that are very large that compete with you, and they don't have the drone pilots. They actually get their drone pilots from the same place they found me, if that makes sense.
Right. Right. Well, and that's
Very
what I want to
interesting.
know, because I always hear this from the side of, I hear it from the side of the guys that are already big into the either YouTube and or drone community. But there's a lot of
Right.
us small guys out there that, we look at somebody like you that has, you may not have a large YouTube following, but YouTube's not your business. Drone piloting is your business, and that's, you know, I'm sure that not every professional pilot has a YouTube channel either. So that's, you know, and
Yeah.
that's my point. I was trying to find out because there's a million drone pilots out there, and Mel and I have ran into several that, well, I'm going out shooting realty because they don't understand that, hey, you got to have a Part 107 and all that, and they think just because Bubba down the road owns a real estate shop, I can go out and shoot for him and he'll pay me $35 and I'm cool about that. And that's what Mel and I are about, is educating these people. And you are on the far end of what most of our viewers would see. You know, in other words,
Right.
you're really high. You're doing the high end jobs. That's why you've got the $1 million worth of drones. But guys like Mel and I, we just have the thousands of dollars worth of drones.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Well, I mean, don't mistake it though, because I started out like that. Two 3 years ago.
yeah,
You know, I believe it or not, and this will it'll sound funny to a lot of people, and some people it'll make sense to. But my dad actually gave me in 2013, no, 2014. He gave me a little $50 drone that he had picked up at like a Love's truck stop or something. And I have always flown remote control helicopters. I've always flown remote control airplanes and RC cars. I've had that stuff ever since I was a kid. And so I kind of got away from it for a while. And so just one day out of the blue, he hands me this little $50 drone. He's like, here, do you want this? I've been playing with it out in the yard. And I said, yeah, sure. And I played with that thing for about, I don't know, maybe a week. And I realized that the DJI at the time, the Phantom 2 was, I think it was like the 2 and the 3 was getting ready to come out. So I went and bought
right,
a Phantom 2 and I played with that thing for, days and weeks and months. And then when the Phantom 3 came out, they had the Advanced and the Pro. I went and bought a Phantom 3 Pro. And that's when, I started doing like, oh, I'll take a picture of your property, or I'll chase you on your four-wheeler, and do a commercial for your little side-by-side show and stuff like that. I did a commercial or two with people that I knew locally, my family knew some business owners. And I, just did like a, hey, come down to Ace Hardware, the local hardware store, and did a aerial shot and zoomed down into their door. So, and yeah, I made a few $100 doing that stuff. And then somebody asked me, hey, do you want to go and do a full on commercial? It pays $2,500. But you have to do the editing and you have to do all the shots. And, and I kind of I freaked out. I said, whoa, I don't know anything about all that heavy duty editing stuff. So I actually spent maybe like 4 months educating myself on editing software. So it
right.
had nothing to do with drone, and one
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
led to another, and then that's just how it evolved. And I never really said that on Bill the Drone Reviewer show or with Original Dobo or anything like that. But that's kind of how everything took place. And then I started realizing, I'm in construction. I've been in construction for 20 years. I'm realizing these people are paying massive amounts of money for progression shots and, for LiDAR. LiDAR is a huge thing. Like if you got $100,000 burning a hole in your pocket, or you can mortgage your house and get it, go get you a LiDAR unit on an M600 Pro, and you're going to make $50,000 a month with that thing. That's where all the archaeological people are going to that right now. National Geographic, Discovery, History, it's incredible. So I mean, it's a progression thing, and just putting yourself in the right place, the right time, marketing, branding, and just networking, going to shows and talking to people.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to ask. That's what I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I apologize if I did. I tend to do that. I'm.
Yeah, not at all.
I see whatever comes to mind. Usually, if it comes to my mind, it comes out of my mouth. So I tend to just say it the way I see it. And that was something I was really curious about because, I mean, I'm not anybody in YouTube. I'm not important. I'm not big, but I'm an average guy that's just watching this. And I've seen you on, like I said, I've seen you with Original Dobo. I've seen you with Bill the Drone Reviewer. I think you were with Ken Heron too, weren't you, a couple weeks ago?
No, I haven't managed to make it to Ken Heron's show yet. And when I do, it's gonna, it's good. I want to, because Ken and I have the same personality. Ken Heron and I, we're both clowns. I don't show that on anything I do with Bill the Drone Reviewer or anything with Ken from Original Dobo. I try to be professional, and we like things, but my personality is like Jim Carrey. I'm like a bubble wrap Jim Carrey.
Well,
so
feel free to be yourself on my channel, because we try to keep it light, but we try to get out good information at the same time.
Right, and I do too. I know when to tone it down a little bit and take my Adderall, but
I'll tell you what. You guys mentioned Ken Heron, the void, and I use that term very loosely, between his ears is a very scary place. That guy, you never know what he's going to come up with.
Right. Well,
did you see him flying as Inspire with his toes?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen all this crazy stuff. He does things that nobody else does. That's why that guy has the amount of followers he does, because he goes to midget wrestling, and he goes to these these old crazy prisons and places like that, and he does crazy stuff.
He's been sponsoring that wrestling thing for years. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, but I'm an average guy. Just like he said. I don't want to forget where I'm from, and I don't want to become oh well, I got $1 million worth of drones, I'm hot shit and all that. I don't do that. I feel like that. When people want advice, they want to hang out, they want to hook up, they want to film, they need help. I'm all about it, because my parents raised me to have a good heart, and I'm country fed, and that's the way I see things. I'm the kind of guy, if I won $1 million on the lottery, I'd probably give 900,000 of it away. So, that's why I don't have.
Keep in mind when that happens.
Yeah.
Right, I got you. Yeah, but I want to help these guys out, and I don't want to be a movie star or a superstar or important or anything. I would like to have a higher following on YouTube for one reason, only one reason, is because when you have 10,000 subscribers, 15,000 subscribers, like some of these guys do, you get invited to places like DroneWorks will invite you to or Airworks and CES, and you'll get a special trip to spin up, and you'll get to talk and get invited out there to be a speaker. Things like that happen for you, and then companies start sending you things to do reviews on, and you can either give them away or keep them. And like I'm spending all these massive amounts of money traveling and going to these places, and I'm like jumping up and down, waving my arms, going, "Hey, let me in, let me in!" And I don't have 10,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and they're like, "Well, okay, so what? You're just another guy," and I get that, but that's the only reason I would like to have more of a name out there and more marketing, more branding, just so that I can educate myself going to those type of places,
Hey, I just hit 300. I just hit 300 the other day, and I'll be honest with you, I'm overjoyed about that because 6 months ago I was shooting for 50.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I've got 37. I'm shooting for 50. But what Ken and I are getting ready to put some more content out here in the next couple weeks. We're going to put out some aerial shots we're doing, and I'm going to get some advice from him while we're hanging out doing some flying on how to build it, because I'm not the kind of guy to say, hey, look, I've got this new Canon M50 and I'm going to do a review on it and show you the pros and cons. Everybody's seen a review on a Mavic 2 Pro. The only thing I could do is probably like a review on an M210, the pros and cons to that thing. And, I'm going to get 300 views on my channel, and maybe I might gain 10, 15 followers from that. So, I guess I'm going to have to just see what happens with it. And maybe, that's not the avenue I need to take. I don't know. Still trying to decide.
There's several schools of thoughts on that process, though.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Like with Mel, I don't have very many subscribers, and I don't have that many views. But I come into a room like this, and people know who I am.
Everybody
they
knows
know
who you are, because you're always in. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always the one mouthing off. Yeah, I know.
You're always in every chat room I've been in.
Well, I was trying to help you out last night because I had to remind somebody that last night was Rotor Talk Live, not the dating game. Did you see that in the chat?
You know what's very? I actually seen that, and I think that was a fake. I think it was a fake profile, because that person, does not exist, according to
I know.
Google and
according
YouTube.
Yeah, somebody was giving you a hard time, but it was like, I just finally said, hey, that was me that said, hey, this is Rotor Talk Live, not the dating game. So it's just like,
yeah. Well, I picked up on that, and then Bill was like, yeah, so single guy like yourself, and I said, well, actually, I got a girlfriend, and I got 2 grown kids, and I just kind of threw that out there because it was starting to become like what the chat was about for about 5 minutes there. It was like, is Brian single? Is Brian single? And I can't get on a YouTube channel and go, yeah, I'm single, hit me up. I'm all about it. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to kill this bud, because meanwhile, while I'm watching that, I'm on my tablet and I'm looking at people that's chatting, and I'm reading the chats and stuff. So I clicked on that chat head, and it was just a blank, empty nothing, and it doesn't exist. And I was like, yeah, somebody just created a channel and put a picture up there,
Yeah, that's what I figured, because I did the same thing. And Mel and I run into stuff like that in all the chats. It's just the name of the game. There's always that one out there that has to do it. And I was just I'm thinking, man, this is so wrong. And, because you were a guest and you were trying to impart some information, and you're having to deal with that kind of stupidness. Yeah. That's like, I was about that close to booting, but,
I was so exhausted last night. I was, and him being a truck driver, he knows I was working on about 2 hours of sleep on a 15-hour drive. And, I'd been working all week long last week, and over the weekend I worked straight. And whenever I pulled in the driveway last night, and I went in the house, literally sat down on the couch and opened my laptop, and it was like 7:55. I walked in my door at 7:50, and I connected my internet and then clicked on the Hangouts link. And so, I hadn't even carried my duffel bag in when I did that last night. And, I felt like my eyes had super glue in them. So I was trying to do that. And I was looking at the chat and trying to talk to Bill about something reasonable. And everybody's like, oh, wow. And who is Lon Denard? That's my question.
He is the bane of Ken Dono's existence. He likes to give Ken Dono, or original Dobo, such a hard time. He just rags on everything he does. So,
well,
who does?
What happened?
He kept
Lon Dennard. He's always commenting. He's always commenting on original Dobo's any video he puts up. He's always ragging on him about it. So
yeah,
Yeah, he was the one that I noticed that kept that kind of flow, and he was like, well, hey, why don't you ask him and that type of thing. But anyway, yeah, let's get off the dating scene. So
All right. I just
you're 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 up there, Mel.
Well, it's just I'm thinking we need to get some phone time uh, tomorrow or later this evening if you're up for it. Um, been running the stream now successfully for pretty close to an hour. I can't believe it. Lloyd, what were we doing wrong the first 10 minutes? You know, I don't know.
I have no clue. I have no
Because
clue.
not only has it not even had so much as a hiccup, but I got you back in, and then on a whim we brought in Brian, and the only other thing I can do is boy, I'm afraid to, but
You got to go for it.
should I?
Yeah, go ahead. There you go. Well, that didn't work. You just
No,
put it.
that ain't right. That ain't gonna work. I can't bring it up right here the way I'm set up right now. It's not gonna work. But that's all right. We don't need to try to break it. Let's keep it successful.
We're using a software called vMix, which is different than the Google Hangouts or was it Livecast or Wirecast? Yeah.
What cast?
And it's Wirecast. That's what does Greg use? Whatever he uses.
Cast, yeah, solid. You know, like cast on your arm, like
yeah. It's broke most of the time. But anyways,
yeah.
So we're using vMix, and Mel just upgraded his to the higher end version, and having been on the road, he hasn't had a chance to set all his up yet. So we kind of swapped it back and forth. Last week I hosted it because his internet was so poor. So that's why we were having so many problems tonight, was because he's in a hotel and his internet was causing him problems.
Yeah. Do you I can't see the chat, like as far as the comments and stuff. Is anybody that's following you guys, are they asking any questions, or are they trying to bring any subjects up or anything right now? I mean, while you got me, maybe we can do some Q&A or something before you guys kill the feed.
Let's take a look at that. They're talking mostly about a lot of other stuff. Anybody have any questions for Brian while he's on the show here, guys? While he's on the stream, before we reach over and pull the plug out of the wall. I know there was a couple questions way back that I saw, but now I can't find them.
Kelly from Ready Set Drone is in here, and Brian, he said to tell you that he answered you on Facebook.
Okay. I'll have to check that out. I think I got something from it. Something to the nature of, maybe he could have a block for me to fly while I was out there. I think, maybe like a demo flight of the 210. I read that, but if that's the only thing he responded to, then yeah, I got that one.
He said he'll be in touch tomorrow. So
he'll be in touch with you tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna do? Hang on, you guys, because here is gonna be a really good test of all of this. We might get just a little bit of lag for just a minute, but you guys keep talking. Don't let me interrupt you.
So yeah, like I said, I didn't mean to put you on the spot there, but there was when I'm sitting there just typing, I can't ask the kind of questions like I asked you tonight because
right.
Bill was doing that, and I just thought, you've got such a knowledge of this, and you've got it on such a large scale basis that if you were to start over, that's what I want to know. If you were to start over, how did you start out? And you answered that thoroughly, and I appreciate that. And
well, the one thing I learned. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
When I was in construction, I had to go to a lot of classes as a project manager for a construction company. You have to go to, these safety meetings, and you got to go to all these classes where they try to develop you into a better manager in the construction industry. And so the company that I worked for was nationwide, and they spent a lot of money on sending us to, these 6 month long classes where we would go every weekend for 6 months. And, one of the biggest things that I learned in construction is, there's two ways to communicate to somebody. You can either convey or you can convince. And when someone's trying to convince me of something, I feel like they're either trying to sell it to me, or they're BSing me, they're pulling my chain, or they're just talking out of context. They don't really know what they're talking about. They're just trying to. It's a convincing thing. So conveying, that's where I get my in-depth answers from, because when in construction you have so many apprentices and you have so many people that are fresh into the business, especially in this age. You don't have any of the old school guys anymore. An in-depth answer to a question is, it's needed. It's almost a necessary thing. And I get a lot of flack from people saying, well, you answered a question like Donald Trump, it took you 10 minutes to answer a yes or no question. But I like to convey as much information as I can to somebody that when they ask a question, to be more specific, even if I lose them or I bore them, because there's so much more to an answer of, well, I would just go buy a Mavic Pro 2 and hit the bricks. It's just there's way more to it, and it's not that easy. So that's
for
why I like
sure.
to kind of run off with questions, or my answers rather.
No, you answered it the way I would hope you would. Of course, I'm old school. I'm an old guy, so I look at things. I'm also military, so you know, we had manuals that were a foot thick just to show us how to turn a bolt.
Right.
It's like you know you'd be surprised how thick a manual is to load a bomb. You wouldn't think loading a bomb would be that big a deal, but yeah, they've got manuals that take hours to read just so you can load a bomb, just so it can be dropped. So yeah, I'm used to
Right.
in depth.
Brian, fella by the name of Jody
Well,
from Drone Shots Aerial's got a question for you. What cameras can you put on top of the M210?
any of the cameras that work on the M210 will go on the top. So I can put my XT on top. I can put a Z30 on top. I can put an X5S on top, because all you're doing is you're moving the camera that normally would be on the bottom of the dual gimbal. You're just relocating that to the top, and so it's not an additional hardware or anything like that. All you're doing is you're just plugging that gimbal into a port in the drone, and you're telling it, okay, you're now not going to read anything from that bottom left gimbal. You're just going to read from what it thinks is the bottom left gimbal. It's just placed on a different part of the drone.
Okay.
But you have, more specifically, on the M210, you have dual gimbals up front, and they're marked number 1 and number 2. And your XT will only work in port number 2 unless you go into the DJI Go 4 app. And that's a lot of a misconception. People don't realize, even though you're running a pilot app on the M210, you still need to go to your DJI Go 4 app and go into your M210 and adjust your camera and your settings and all that that way. So I can run an X4S or an X5S independently by itself on gimbal number 1, or I can add the zoom or the XT or another an X5S onto gimbal number 2.
Okay, cool.
Is that why on your Crystal Sky last night you showed you had a split screen, one with the pilot app and the other one with the DJI Go app?
Right.
If I saw, is that
In all Crystal Skies, you've got both apps that's built independently into the Crystal Sky. So your pilot app works on the Mavic 2 Enterprise, and it works on your M200, your M210. People still actually use the DJI Go 4 app just as much, even though you have the pilot app, and it's because the pilot app's in beta version right now. and so you have to go into your Go 4 to do all of your internal software setting.
Hey guys, look who just popped in the show.
I guess you can do this from your phone.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm doing it from my phone.
Yeah, so I'm actually, Mel, I'm actually in bed. I was just laying here watching you guys, and Mel said, "Can you join?" So I had to put on a shirt.
Kelly, you're
Yeah.
younger than I am. What do you do in bed this early? Because we're in the same.
Oh man, I'm an early morning, early to bed guy. Like if I stay up past 10, I get grumpy.
That's my job.
But yeah, it's true. That's true. But you know what? Honestly, I can't sleep past about 6 anymore. Yeah, with the time change, especially. I've been waking up about 4:45 every morning. It's great though. That's a good thing. My wife just looked in here like, what is he doing? I I joined Mel's. Mel the truck driver. I joined his live chat tonight. My wife says hi, Mel.
Was that your bride?
So,
Tell
hey,
her we all
Brian.
said hello.
I will. You'll get to meet her at Spin Up. So, yeah, Brian.
Cool.
So do you have? Can we talk a minute about the 210? Is it a 210?
Yes. Yes.
What drone is this you're talking about? I don't know that I'm familiar with it.
It's a DJI M210. It's an Enterprise. It's a Matrice 210 Enterprise unit.
Oh, it's okay.
And it's
so a Matrice. I haven't seen the Matrice before. I've never flown one. I'd love to see it.
It's a really vicious looking machine. It's all black carbon fiber. It's got magnesium all over it. It's got a Faraday cage built into it. It's a really nice machine. And I don't know if you remember or not, but DJI put out the like the Wind 4 and the Wind 2 and that Agris sprayer. They came out.
I remember the Agris. Yep.
Okay. Well, the Wind 8, the Wind 4, and Wind 2 are a smaller version of the Agris, but they're used for carrying payloads. And so DJI came out with, last year, they came out with an M210 and an M200, which both of them are almost identical. The difference being is that one of them has a single gimbal on the front with a first-person view camera, and one of them has a dual gimbal. And they took all of the features out of Inspire 2 and put onto this drone. So it has 7 sensors and cameras on it for, looking up, down, all of the obstacle avoidance is built in. And it has the same exact FPV cameras on the front of the gimbal that the Inspire 2 has, but they just added dual gimbals to it to where you can put a thermal image camera and you can put a zoom camera, or you can put X5S and things like that. And it's strictly made for inspecting cell phone towers, power lines, and solar farms. That's its forte.
That's awesome. I'd never seen you before last night on Bill's show, and I was totally impressed. Despite all the distractions that you guys were talking about earlier with, dating or whatever, that the information you gave last night was awesome. So it's nice to get to chat with you tonight, because if you we have access to the entire Round Rock Express, which is the Dell Diamond. We have access to their entire stadium, permission to fly. I have checked; it's not geofenced or anything. I think that maybe only happens during games. And the management is really into this. It's a big thing for the city of Round Rock. They want to position themselves, in Dell as well as a tech-centered place. And so for us to all be there, they're pretty excited. So I think bringing one of those. Sorry, dropped the phone. Bringing one of those things would be amazing. Sorry about that.
I'm sorry.
He said he had to put his shirt on. I'm glad he was covered up with a
No,
blanket when he dropped that phone.
Exactly. I don't want to know what else was below that phone there. Sorry, Kelly. I apologize.
I've got
I'm being unprofessional.
I got some fruit of the looms on here,
TMI, Kelly. TMI, buddy.
Yeah. My wife's closing the bedroom door. So I love that idea.
to your spin up. And one of the things that I was getting from a lot of people was, there's going to be, it's mostly, circled around, the YouTube community, and a lot of the guys that are doing the YouTube community are, just getting into the 107. They're just getting into the drone thing. There's going to be some FPV stuff. So, I kind of get that it's sort of a split 50, that you got like the YouTube connection, plus you have the drone connection going. And a lot of these guys that, are in this circle, but, I talk to Ken Dono from Original Dobo on a daily basis. And I've hung out with Billy Kyle and, with Bill, the drone reviewer. We've been to some of the together. But what I'm hearing is like, most everybody are, that's into this, they're just getting into the.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Did we
Kelly,
freeze
are
up?
you there?
Did we lose Brian? I'm here. Can you hear me?
No. No, I'm looking for
hello?
Mel because he.
Yeah,
Oh, Mel
Hello?
walked
Hello?
away. Mel walked away.
yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay.
No,
All right.
I can hear Mel.
Yeah, he's
Well, so-
he's got a
so Brian-
little room on that side over there. Well, that side.
Oh, okay. I seen him disappear and I thought something was wrong.
That's why his camera's
Wait,
not
can you
pointed
still hear
that
me?
direction.
Can you hear me?
So back to what I was saying, Kelly. Your connection with YouTube and with drones out there are something that I'm interested in doing, but I didn't want to shell shock everyone with hey, look at this $50,000 drone and I'm doing inspections, because I'm not sure a lot of people are really into that right now. I think they're more into how can I make money with my drone on a smaller scale with a Mavic 2 Pro or with an Inspire or with a Phantom 4, and which I have experience in that, versus what I currently am, doing for work and what I currently carry for a drone. But I would like to come out there and see the event that you have going on. Plus, if anyone's interested in the M210 or anything that, some of the ups and downs and pros and cons, trials and tribulations that I've been through, I'd be more than happy to share that. But I didn't want to drive it out there. I can't fly that drone. The batteries won't go on an airplane, and the drone is
where do you
too
live?
big.
Where do you live?
I'm in Central Florida.
Where do you live?
Yep. Kelly's locking up.
Uh-oh.
You got. Hello. Am I frozen?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You froze up for a little bit there, Kelly. Okay. Do I need to drop out of this, Mel?
Yeah, let's give that a try.
Hold on.
I don't
right.
think that's the problem. I think it's on his end, but it might be.
All right, let me go ahead and drop out, but just one quick thing is I would, as somebody who is on the smaller end of these things, if I were coming to it, if I were able to, but I'm not able to, but if I were able to, I would love to see that thing fly, and I think anybody that's in this group here would love to see that thing fly. So
Oh, yeah.
that's my 2 cents worth on it. So,
Well, hang on.
I'm going to go ahead.
Kelly, are you okay, or are you locked up completely?
I think
Brian-
we lost Kelly.
Brian, you're still there, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. I think we lost Kelly.
Yeah. I think we lost Kelly. Yeah.
He's in the
But,
chat. Didn't he upgrade
But
to
yeah,
2012 MacBook Pro? Kelly is really still in a sleep. Did he fall asleep? Nah, he didn't fall asleep. He was talking.
No.
Bros, let Brian know
He
you'll reach out
froze.
to him tomorrow. Brian, he says he'll reach out to you tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, perfect.
I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
And just another comment, Jim Crennan, one of the guys in here, he said he would, he agrees with me. He would love to, if he were there, he would love to see you fly that thing. I think everybody, I don't think you'd be wasting your time taking it there because, this community, that at least the ones I know, and I well, like you say, you see me in all the channels, so I get around. And everybody I know of here, I think would love to see that thing fly. So just that's my 2 cents worth.
Yeah, I would love to be out there. And that's for me, that's a 20-hour drive from here, and
Yeah.
which I'm not opposed to doing that. But that's a lot of diesel fuel, hotel rooms, money to spend. I mean, it's going to cost me a couple $1,000s to make that trip, and I didn't want to get out there and carry that drone out there and it not be a call for it. Whereas, if I just took a couple $100 flight and went out there with Ken and we bunked up together in a room or something, it would be a lot cheaper to just go out there and just be part of the event, show up and be there to see what's going on rather than dragging those 2 cases and all those batteries and that drone out there to demo it, for that event. And if it's, that's why I wanted to get a hold of Kelly to make sure that if I spend the money going out there and dragging that thing and driving for 2 days, I may have to get Mel to help me drive because, that's driving to Middle Texas is.
Well, just
So,
just swing up through Nashville and you guys can jump in my pickup and we'll go from where I live on over to Texas. Actually, I'm gonna actually leave. I'm gonna leave probably 2 to 3 days before Thanksgiving, and I got a little road trip planned, and then I'm gonna end up in Round Rock down there for the first, and then I'm going to I'm gonna go down to Galveston, and then I'm gonna go up to right around Alexandria, Louisiana, and then over to Monroe, Louisiana, and then back home. So it's going to be a 2.5 week trip for me.
Okay.
But
I was going to say you could always maybe you and Ken Dono could split it, but he's probably coming down with Billy. No, Billy's coming out of Pennsylvania though, isn't he?
Yeah, I think Ken's gonna fly, and I mentioned something to him yesterday, about taking the M210 out there, and I know that he already has a connection with Kelly, so I said, maybe you could run that by him and see what he thinks, and like I said, Kelly had emailed me or sent me a message and said, well, I think there might be a block for you to fly it out there, so I didn't really get into details with him about that, but now if Ken would ride with me. If we could stand to be in the vehicle with each other without filming each other all the way to Texas, I think maybe we could drive together.
That's not going to happen.
Well, did you see the rig he gave me last night?
No.
I kind of showed it. Yeah, the M50 was mine, but he gave me the small rig and the free world monitor, and a broken on lens. And that thing is phenomenal. I went home last night, hooked it all up, and you could basically make a Hollywood cinema film with that thing now. And so he says, so you need to start filming some of your own content. Here's the stuff that you need to add it to your M50 to make that happen. And so I've got my rig, and he's got his rig. He's got actually a couple of them. And so if we were to make a road trip for 18 hours, I'm sure that I would become the camera operator for the majority of it while he was talking about, when we were stopping. You know how people do road trips on YouTube. They're always stopping and talking about, okay, well, now we're at such and such gas station getting gas, and look at this beautiful view. And I'd probably be more cameraman than I would driver. I wouldn't mind doing that, but I just got to talk to him. I think he already has his plane ticket purchased, though.
Yeah, knowing him, he probably does. And then Billy Kyle, of course, he's going to fly in because he lives up in Philly. So anyway, yeah, if you did drive, and it'd just be to be the spectacle, for the M210. Not to mention, see, I look at it, being an owner operator type thing is not only are you spending money to do a road trip, so that's an expense, but then you have to add in the expense of the revenue that you're not making for those 3, 4, 5 days.
Right.
And it gets expensive quick.
I'm going to be up north. I'm actually going to be in Virginia for Thanksgiving. And so I thought, well, since I'm already going to be all the way up there, I'm not going to be driving from Florida. So I'm obviously going to have the 210 with me. And it would be, a way I could get to Round Rock, Texas from Virginia. I know the trip. I've been out there before, not to Round Rock, but I've been out west before. So I thought, well, I'll just probably leave the day after, maybe like the 25th, 26th, and make it a 2-3 day trip.
Where are you
And
gonna? Where in
just enjoy my
Virginia are you
trip.
gonna be?
I'm gonna be in right outside of Roanoke,
Oh, okay. Yep. Down
right
81.
off 220.
Yep. Down
Well,
81
I'm gonna be right
across.
off of 220.
Yep. Down 81 to 40 and through Knoxville and Nashville and Memphis and over to Little Rock and down 30. You know, straight into Dallas
Yeah.
and then straight south to Round Rock.
So that's about an 18, 20 hour trip either way you look at it, from Florida or from Roanoke.
Yeah. Would you like to know the exact mileage?
Yeah, sure. Was it about 1,300?
If anybody can tell you, Mel can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's made his living all these years, but I mean, yeah, I could understand you not wanting to do it because of the cost and expense. It would be cheaper to buy a plane ticket and run out there, but if you were doing it for the publicity side of things, you could make some big connections out there. You may not, I don't know. This is the first spin up. Maybe doing it for, say, the second spin up might be better.
Yeah.
But you might be in a different position then.
1,274 miles.
But
Well, I
Roanoke.
think, like with my intentions right now, like I said, I'm not trying to really go hard on my YouTube channel or my website or anything like that, and I've got plenty of work with the power company. My biggest thing is I want to help share the DJI, the drone stuff, as much as I can. And I know a lot of people. I was fascinated by the bigger drones whenever I was playing with the smaller drones, and I never could find an event that they had anything like that. I never really seen anything on YouTube about them much, unless it was in like German or Russian. All these other, like over in Britain, they had a few of them when they first came out. But if you look on YouTube, there's maybe like 30. And the only person that's really doing anything with M210s or M600s on YouTube is Rocky Mountain UAV, and that everything else is in German and Spanish and stuff like that. Some of these other companies over in other countries are doing them. So I would like to share a little bit of like what the 210's about, and the biggest thing is what it's like to become a full-time commercial drone operator. That's where I think that my information can add value to people, because I want to see it grow, and I want to see people go out and purchase drones, and I want to see the development side of things take place from where it was in infancy and to a fully developed program. And a lot of people have misconceptions about it.
yeah,
And that's the message that I want to share. And if I was building my YouTube channel, yeah, I would definitely go out there and say, hey, look at this great machine, and look at this perfect opportunity that I have, and this is all great. Follow me. But that's not really with it. I want to be more of an ambassador for information.
Yeah.
Just a thought. I mean, I'm sitting here listening to everything, and I'm sitting there thinking, because that's what Spin Up is about, and right now they've got every drone covered except the high-end commercial drones, and guess what? You're the only guy in the game right now. So you would be great. I think, that would be a reason on the plus side to go do it. Because you're the only guy amongst this group, I should say, that we're all this circle that we're all part of right now. You're the only guy in the game with that. You're at the furthest end, and they're going to have guys starting out like, speaking, that are starting out in the beginning of the business, and you're going to show what the possibilities are when you finally get up there, And
that makes perfect sense what you're saying, because this circle that we're in, this is basically it. I mean, if you look nationwide in the United States on the commercial drone and on the YouTube channels and things like that. There is a few major players out there that are doing things. I mean, and I'm not a name dropper. I'm not going to sit here and name off everybody that's major that's doing something. But if you look at like the people that we associate with, like Kelly with Ready Set Drone, Billy Kyle, Ken Herron, Original Dobo, Bill the Drone Reviewer, you two guys, myself. I mean, that's pretty much the net of what's really going on. And and I'm not going to say that doesn't really cover the West Coast, but if you go on YouTube and look at anybody that's doing commercial drone or anybody that's doing drone stuff, specifically with their YouTube channel, we've got it covered in this circle.
Yeah, that's very
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. And that's
true.
it. And there you go. That's the reason. That's one, like I said, this spin up is covering every spectrum of the drone community and YouTube combined. I mean, you've got the YouTube community, but that's why I explain, myself, I'm a vlogger. I'm not a videographer. I'm not a cinematographer. I'm not an aerial photographer. But I have interest and follow everybody from every aspects, and I've made some good connections through it that way. So this spin up, which I wished I could be there, but this spin up is really I hate it when I get old like that and forget words. This is an opportunity for all of those people in that community to not only get to know each other, but then to expand it out, because like you said, it's a small community and it needs to expand, but we need to have, I think that's what Kelly's trying to do. He's trying to have it from every spectrum of the drone world and the YouTube world combined, and you're on the top of the spectrum when it comes to drones. You got the high end one,
Right.
Just my thought. My thought.
It's real interesting though. Like I keep up with analytics, and I mean I know you guys probably do too. At least I look and see how many views things have. I look and see how many likes things have, and I look at analytics due to the fact that in my line of work, if I'm out here and I'm inspecting lines, and say my contract runs out, I have to have something to fall back on. I've got to have another person that says, hey, I know a guy that's got an M210. He's a great pilot. He's got an insurance policy. He's ready to go. Seen him on YouTube last week. He's doing some big things, and we need a 911 emergency pilot up here right now. We've got this big contract to fill, and there's not that many M210s out there with an XD camera. Let's call this guy because we know who he is. My phone is never going to ring if nobody knows who I am and knows my phone number. So, I look at it like that. Like, there's people out there like Ken Herron and you guys and Bill the Drone Reviewer and Billy Kyle that can share what I do and my information. And it's not only a wealth of information for people watching, but it's also wealth of information for, hey, somebody wants to either get into that, they can come get into that, or say they need that, they can call me and I'm on board with it. Because that's the number one thing. In order to justify the expense and the cost of this drone, people have to know who you are, because my Florida and my Georgia power contract runs out in January, and I have to rebid that contract again. And if I don't win that bid this year, then I've got $100,000 sitting in my living room floor.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You still with us, Mel, or do you?
Yep, I'm still
Okay.
here. I'm fixing to make a little change. Let you guys visit there for a minute. I'm going to shut my mic off for just a minute, okay?
All right. Okay.
I'll be right back.
Well, I know Mel appreciates you coming on here, and I appreciate you answering all my questions, because I know I just and I'm at the bottom end of this dog pile. I can tell you that right now.
Well, I like some of the stuff that you're involved in. Like I said, I see you on there, and and I came out of nowhere because I was doing this for the last couple of years on silent mode, I guess you could say, and keeping things to a minimum. So when I started following Bill the drone reviewer about maybe 7 or 8 months ago, and he started doing more and more videos, and I seen some of the things that he was getting involved with, and stuff that he was reviewing. So that's how I ended up getting into the circle myself. Because I mean, obviously, I've watched Billy Kyle's videos for the last couple of years. I've watched Ken Dono's videos for the last couple of years, and so I didn't really know those guys. And a lot of those people, you can't just hit them up with an email and say, hey, I want to get in the circle and do some reviews with you and some flying with you and things. I got good ideas. So Bill actually introduced me to Billy Kyle and Original Dobo, and when we went to that fly-in, and that's how it all took place. So since then, that's where I've got into this community. Before this, I was flying commercially, but I was a spectator on all the YouTube things and all the events that was going on. I was always a bystander, and
Yeah.
now I'm in the circle a little bit, and it's working out. But I want to network a little more to where it would be really awesome to be able to go and do a video with Ken Hare, and it would be awesome for us three to get together and do a little video together, even if we're just making light of things to joke around, because that's what keeps it real.
Well, that's kind of how Mel was on the road, and I don't know if you've seen any of the videos that he and I did together, but he came through here at Muskogee, and he calls me up and he says, "Hey, I'm going to be in Muskogee. You got anything going now?" So we met up, and I took him out to a war memorial park we had, and it has Muskogee, Oklahoma, a landlocked state, has a submarine sitting in it, a World War II submarine. And one thing led to another, and we're out there filming, and he came back through a week later, and we went up there and asked permission. They let us go inside the park and actually film up close and personal with and it ended up becoming and somehow or another, Mel and I just kind of connected. I think I actually started following him through Ken Heron, and Bill the drone reviewer both. And I was like you, I just kind of sat on the outside, and then I won. Mel had this contest, and I won it. And he sent me this case, and we got he needed my contact information. He calls me up, and I don't know. We've kind of been bouncing off of each other, ideas off of each other ever since.
Yeah, sometimes till 2 and 3 in the morning.
Oh yeah, sometimes.
Sorry
just
about that.
way
I
too
didn't
late.
mean to have to leave, but I had to go outside and explain to that 5'6", 140-pound feller that he wasn't going to slap on that 100-pound girl in front of me.
Oh.
Hey, that
Yeah,
makes good sense.
I
Yeah.
used my 6', 240-pound influence to change his attitude.
Good. Good. Hey.
There ain't no sense in that. But anyway, that's why I had to go real quick. I didn't want to say nothing. But anyway.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
glad you
fine.
took care of that.
We support that.
Absolutely. I don't think there's anybody in the chat that wouldn't support that.
Yeah, an extra battery for
But
the Spark. Oh, that's right. Mark won an extra battery for the Spark. Why are you jealous? Mark, you're going to get a gimbal lock for your Mavic. Remember? I'm going to deliver it. I'm not even going to mail it to you. I'm going to deliver it personally. I'm going to deliver it to you personally.
I'm sitting here.
So
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I'm literally sitting in my truck at a car wash where I just came out here and rinsed my truck off, and I'm glad you guys brought me into the chat, and we got to talk a little bit. Mel, you email me on that email, and then send me your phone number, and then I'll give you a call. I've got to run home, grab a shower, and get cleaned up, and find something to eat at it's 10:55 in my neck of the woods. So I need to grab something to eat real quick, and then I'm gonna probably call it a night. But I want to try to talk to Kelly tomorrow, and then if you want to give me a call, or we'll exchange phone numbers. Maybe we can chat tomorrow whenever you get up and get moving around while you're on the road or something. Whatever you got going on, be happy to do that. And anytime that you guys want to, get me on the show, and we'll do some stuff. We don't have to be so serious. I'm willing to do that as long as I'm not in the middle of working.
Sure. You're welcome to come on
Yeah,
anytime.
And I have a live stream occasionally, and I may hit you up one time to come on mine. Just give me a little bit of credibility. That way they don't think I'm Mel's big brother or something.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
see here. Let me try.
good.
Let me try. Let me see if this works. Okay, I bet. Yeah, Brian. Now I bet it's just between you and me because I bet that grumpy old feller can't even say a word now. I bet his mic is muted. The we do that kind of stuff to each other. Brian, thanks a lot
You
for
just
coming
mute.
in on spur of the moment. You know, that was quite a surprise. I was actually surprised to see
Yeah,
you come
yeah.
on my stream, to tell you the truth.
Well, I follow a lot of people, and whenever you guys do anything, I get a notification. You know, I think I'm subscribed to probably more people than that subscribe to me, if that makes any sense.
Well, I
I got
subscribed to you quite a
37
while ago, but I
subscribers.
had no idea you were subscribed to my channel, so that's kind
Yeah.
of cool.
That's the weird thing about YouTube is it, like you'll get a notification that somebody subscribed to your channel, but you can't actually go anywhere in YouTube and look at all of the list of your subscribers. And I don't
Only
know
if
why,
they
because
only if they allow their information to be seen. Yeah.
yeah, so I might have 37 subscribers and I only know who 5 of them are,
Right,
you know,
right.
but yeah, I subscribe to you and Ken and Bill and Billy Kyle and Ready Set Drone and like I follow Ken Heron and Bill from Drone Valley. I follow Rocky Mountain UAV, and then there's this other guy out there I follow called iCopter or something like that. I follow
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
He's always got some stuff. And then that guy from California, iPhone Doe, he's kind of funny sometimes. He's got a little bit of joke in him, and he does some tech reviews and drone reviews. But anytime any of those guys put anything out, I'll get a notification, and I'm here at the car wash, and I got done washing my truck, and I got in the truck, and I got this little green light blinking, and it says Grumpy Vlogger and 400 AGL live chat, and so I clicked on it, and I'm like, oh, okay, let's see what these guys are talking about, because I always see you guys in the chat when I'm watching Bill's stuff. So
Right.
I wanted to see what you guys were talking about tonight, because I know that the last video I seen on you're talking about selling the truck and going droning, and I thought, well, let me see what these guys are scoping out, because I want to go droning too, so maybe we can all go drone together.
Yep, yep. Well, that's going to be my main primary desire. And when we talk on the phone, I'll tell you more about what I got in the wind and what I got going on. Um, I bought this pickup truck
Okay.
to be dependable to get me where I need to be at a reasonable cost to get in there. But it's also it's intended to be a tool for a backup use that I hope I don't have to back up to. So
Right. I understand that.
Kelly looks like Bernie from Bernie. What is that TV show?
Throws out.
Bernie. What was the name of that TV show?
Weekend at Bernie's.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Weekend at Bernie's, or yeah, yep. Anyway, well, Brian, thank you much for coming in on spur of the moment like that and being willing to
Yes, sir.
come in and join and visit and share some wisdom and ideas and information. That's really cool.
Well, that's no problem at all. And you know what? The next time I get on somebody's channel, no matter whose it is, I'm actually gonna not be the superstar of the hour with the $1 million worth of drones. I'm gonna come on and be like, hey, did you see that guy last night? He's burning rotors and breaking motors, and I just want to lighten things up a little bit, because I don't want to come off as the as the super shot Donald Trump kind of guy in the drone world, because I'm not at all.
Well, I was kind of, when you started listing off all those guys that you follow, I was kind of honored to be included in that list. So yeah, everybody's got people they look up to, you know.
Right.
I look up to Lloyd. Well, I look up to Ken Heron because of his video and flight capabilities. I look up to Kelly because of all the knowledge that he's got about all sorts of different things, and the way he approaches things with his ideas. Um, it's I look up to you because of what you do, and it's I can mute your mic again, old man.
Oh, I didn't know if I was muted, so I saw what Mark Rogers said. I just busted out laughing. I didn't know. I thought I was still muted.
I can't wait to go back and read the chat. So to top off what you're saying, Mel, every person has a they've got a unique individual feature. And that's one of the things that Ken and I talked about. He said, Brian, he said, you got a wealth of knowledge and this and that, but you're talking to the camera skills are not what some of these other people really. I'm not a movie star; it doesn't get them, and some people do. And like if you look at each individual person's YouTube channel, some of them have the flying skills, some of them have business skills, some of them got camera skills, and they don't have anything else. So like that's the little network that I have. It's really strange, because if you could compile everybody, like what's going to happen at Spin Up, if you can compile everybody into one little session, it would make perfect sense, because I like the way that certain people present certain things, if that makes sense.
Yep, it does.
I get my
And
10% from 10 people to make 100.
there you go. You have to do it that way almost. Um, I mean that's how we all figure out different things and get inspired to try other things by what other people
Yeah.
do. So yeah,
That's sort of what's so neat about YouTube, especially this community that we belong to, because there's such a diversity. As I said, I'm just a vlogger, and just an old guy with an attitude, but I seem to have developed this sort of, well, it's a family. It's like Spike over here, from Australia. He's adopted me as his big brother. I got Ken Dono calls me the grandpa that all, he calls me grandpa now because I popped off something to him. He says I was the kind of grandpa most kids need, the ones that tell it like it is, and that's just who I am. So, and there's a bunch of guys, and we've just sort of developed this family, but all of us have a different way of approaching life, YouTube, everything. And that's why this is so great, especially this group that we all belong to right now, because there's just such a plethora of people, And
Yep.
Right.
That's my $10. Yep. That's my $10 word for the day. Plethora. Yeah.
I bet you can't spell it.
No.
See there?
I think what it's come down to is, the consumer world, is any time that somebody wants to go and purchase something, unless they're a spontaneous buyer or spontaneous purchaser or spender, anytime someone wants to go and invest their money in something that's, a TV, a drone, a phone, a laptop, a camera, I'm thinking, the way that like the newer generations, I'm 40 years old. So, my generation, the 20s, the 18-year-olds, all, it doesn't matter really how old you are, but, like the millennial, everyone's going to YouTube to watch these, comparisons, these reviews. Would I buy the Sony A6300 or would I buy a Canon M50? What's the features of them before you go out and spend $1,000 on a camera or drone? They're doing, these searches on YouTube for those type of comparisons, and that's what everything's going.
Yep.
And
yeah,
it's a wealth of information.
Yeah. And even for somebody my age, and like I said, I'm a nerd, I'm a tech nerd, but I got away from it for so long because I got burned out on it, and now I'm having to catch up with the game. When it came to choosing the camera, I went with the SL2 because it fit my needs. Not that it was the greatest thing on the market or it was the best, but it fit what I needed. But I had to go and research it, because that's a lot of money. It's,
Yep.
$600.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. And and I exchange information with other people that's in the industry. When it comes to large things, specifics. Like just recently had spent about 2 hours on the phone with Velodyne lidar. And like I said when we first got on this show, I want to get into lidar, and I spent 2 hours on the phone with them talking about their packages and what they have, the different units that they have, the different pucks, and so I go to my supplier and I said, okay, I can put one of these on M210 that I currently have and not spend any money on a drone. I just have to spend the money on the LiDAR. But, the LiDAR company is suggesting an M600 Pro. And so there's not really a very good review on an M600 Pro out there as far as, all of the pros and the cons of that thing. There's a couple, but there's not one like I'm looking. And so my supplier said to me, well, the M600 Pro is outdated. Basically, it doesn't have, any sensors on it. You've got to fly it with a Papa type controller or the DJI controller with the Go 4 app. And, it's got an A3 inside of it, no sensors, no FPV cameras. You're going to have to add a FPV camera to that drone in order to be able to see where you're going. Anything autonomously isn't going to work like you think it is. So your best bet is to leave it on the M210 versus spending, $5,000 on an M600 Pro. Plus, he tells me wait, because in 2019, DJI is going to upgrade the M600 Pro to something else, and it might work out for you. I went to YouTube for that information, couldn't find it. And that's like the only time that I really recall going to YouTube and not being able to find the information I need. So I had to get it out of my drone, with just this circle that we're in.
Well, that caliber though, there's not a lot of people that have got that.
Right.
It's like the Bugatti. If you wanted to look at YouTube to learn everything you could learn about a Bugatti, you're not going to find a whole lot of information because there's not many people that can afford a Bugatti. But,
right.
And if you do find information, it's going to be, a lot of speculation, and you don't want speculation when you're going to invest 15, 20, 25, 50,000 in a piece of equipment. You need facts.
Yeah, it's tough. You do. It is. It's tough. I mean, I knew the M210 was what I needed to accomplish the type of work that I'm doing now. But had I not gotten into the power line, and now sometimes I regret it. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I regret the power line move because, it's a daunting task, especially paying a driver and the insurance that you have to carry and the type of things that you're working around. When you get into a substation, that is a nightmare because you talk about palm sweating. I got to keep a rag in my pocket to dry my palms off when I've got that M210 in a substation.
Yeah.
So that that type of stuff, it's like I'm going to have to get on blood pressure medicine in order to keep flying. But I want to. I want to do the simple things and still be able to make a living. And sometimes I kind of regret going to the power, and I thought, well, maybe I should have stuck with cell phone towers or solar panels. But the solar panel stuff, you can do a solar panel inspection with an Inspire 1 with an XT, and you can do a solar panel inspection with a Mavic 2 Pro in RGB. So you'd have to have both drones, or you'd have to use your Inspire and fly it twice. If you had two pilots and you flew the Inspire 1 with the XT on it, and you flew a Mavic 2 Pro with the RGB on the 20, and you had two pilots, then you could do that, and that would be more cost effective than spending the money that you did on the drone. And I kind of wish sometimes I went that angle, but those are quarterly inspections, and so you're driving all over the country to these large solar farms, and you're doing that quarterly. And again, like I talked about a while ago, it's not really worth going and chasing a solar farm for work, and then 3 months later going back to that same farm. If you don't have 6 or 7 of them to do, then it's not justifiable. So,
Yeah.
I miss the small stuff. I miss the Inspire One, and I miss the Mavic and the Phantom type work. But there's not, there's not $150 or $200,000 a year in those drones unless you're working them 7 days a week and you're all over the entire country. You basically would have to be putting 100,000 miles on your vehicle to do that.
And it's too bad that, I mean, I know they have stuff now where you can use one controller to control 5, 6, 7, 8 aircraft for doing agricultural inspections and things like that. It's too bad you can't use one controller and fly 2 Inspire 1s at the same time, one with the XT and one with the X5, and just have them fly side by side and do what you want to do.
Yeah, well, that's the stuff that comes in on the laptops. Like you see these ground stations that these guys have, and they're actually running their drones through their laptop, and they're doing an autonomous flight. They're doing like the waypoint flights. So on the Agris, it'll actually do that. You can program your Agris to fly that, and you could probably get into that, but that software alone is $50,000.
Wow.
So it's like, I would just rather go ahead and spend $50,000 and have the MQ10 with both cameras and kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yep.
Yeah, it becomes a point of diminishing returns. It's
Sure.
like at what point do you start losing money in trying to make money? And so. But.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. It's 11:15 Eastern time. This is.
Yeah, I think we've about beat this horse to death tonight, anyways.
This has nearly turned into nearly a 3-hour deal here tonight. Amazing.
Yeah.
When I started out, the stream was crashing. I was having internet problems, and the broadcasting software, everything was working great, but I couldn't get the internet to cooperate. Then all of a sudden, the internet just said, "Okay, I'm going to do it," and then I had 4 people on. I can't believe how that's crazy. In fact, somebody typed in the chat, Ken Herron's going to be jealous. But
maybe he'll see it and invite us all 4 onto his show, and then he can have like 6 blocks. That would work out great for him.
Yeah.
That would absolutely kill the way he does things, though.
Because the software he uses tends to be, and I don't think.
Well, it's not only that. His connection process is Skype. So the more people he has connected, it exponentially eats up bandwidth more and more. So it becomes an issue. But anyway.
Yeah. Whereas this software here uses its own dialing system. It's all integrated into one thing.
Yep.
And it's actually hosted off-site. So it's not resource hungry like Skype is. And Mel and I did a lot of research into these. We've tried this. We've been working on this setup that Mel's got right now. I'm too cheap to spend the money that he did, so I got the little setup, but still using the same software, and I understand how it all operates. He's just got more windows than I do.
And right now it's running at 30 to 31 frames a second. The render time is 2 milliseconds, and I'm using a whopping 11% of my CPU on vMix. So
what I find really interesting is I'm on a Samsung Galaxy Note 8, and I'm running Bluetooth through my truck on the speakers for the sound. So I don't have a headset on. So I'm talking through my truck phone basically, and I'm on a cell phone, and I'm in a small town in middle Florida, and I've got 3 bars of service, and it's kind of going up and down, back and forth. There's not a cell phone tower for about, I don't know, a good 4 miles from where I'm sitting at. So I find it really interesting that, you guys haven't lost me and it's all working properly. That's pretty awesome. I'll have to give that a 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
it's been a good show for sure tonight, and definitely the software did what it was supposed to, Mel.
Yep. Yep, I think that part of it was a good investment for the live streaming anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, guys, you know it's time to say sayonara and reach over there and pull the plug. Brian, thank you, neighbor. Thank you so much for coming in and
Yes,
joining
sir.
on spur of the moment and giving us a lot of great information and things to think about and things for a lot of the folks that watch the stream to think about and get gears and wheels turning. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, anytime, hit me up, and maybe we'll do it when I'm sitting in my office and I got a little more light, and well, we got some content we can go on, and, kick it around a little bit.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
And
I'll
it was
shoot you an email with some contact info.
and it was an
Okay.
absolute pleasure
So,
getting to talk with you, Brian. I really appreciate you listening to me and answering my questions. And like I said, it was a real pleasure getting to know you.
yes, sir. Likewise. Anytime.
Yep, yep.
Even if you are younger than my youngest son.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
Well,
say at 40 years old, he's just a whippersnapper, you know.
Yeah, my youngest son is 43 and my oldest son is 50. So that just gives you context there where I'm coming from.
I'll be happy to help you guys out, or maybe get some help from you guys, or we'll work together anytime you want to. I'm here.
Well, you know what, Lloyd? It's always them young guys that are gonna teach us how to do things right. You know that.
That's right.
All right, Brian. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yes,
Lloyd,
sir.
thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Not a
And
problem, Mel. Always a pleasure.
everybody in chat, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for coming back once we got the stream up and running. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye. And you know what? Just for grins, I'm gonna kill that audio. And then I'm gonna kill that audio. And then I'm gonna take this right here, merge that in there.